Hi everyone, Yvan Desjardins with Remax here. I'm here to give you my monthly stats. Today it will be a little longer video because I know I've had a lot of requests or questions. How's the market? How do you think things are going to go moving forward? I know you're all in lockdown mode at your house and you probably have time to watch this video. Please watch it to all of it. I will shed a lot of light on a lot of things here. I know it's going to be a little longer, but stick with me here. Let's first start with the good news, the monthly stats for the month of March that just went by. First of all, right now we have 128 listings, which is fairly normal. It's not an oversupply. It's not a very, let's say, very low listings. That is pretty good inventory. Let's just put it this way. The sales in the month of March this year, believe it or not, were higher than the sales volume of last year. So yes, before this coronavirus and everything started, the market was going really good. Actually, in March 2019, we had 71 sales, and this year we had 82 sales. Okay, so the market has been doing much better this year, the sales, as I can say. However, if you were to go to the last half of the month, like from the 15th of March to the end, it was pretty much even 32 and 34 sales. Where it really makes a difference is in the past 7 days, where we've had only 9 sales versus last year 15 sales. So as you can see, it is slowing down now. Okay, so for multiple reasons, they're asking us not to do any open house. Showings are somewhat very limited. A lot of people, are concerned. They don't want to go out and look at houses. Mind you, the market is still going. Our real estate office, our physical real estate office is closed. We can still operate. They've got a secretary working remotely, answering the calls, and doing the uploads of the listings. So the market, the business is still going on. However, like I said, it is much lower right now at this time. So what is to come with all of this here? I'll touch base a little more coming down towards the end of this video of what's happening with the economy. But just right now, I think April is going to be a big test for the market. Sorry here. um, sorry, I talk a little too fast here. I'm going to have a sip of water here in a minute. Anyway, I've been talking to a mortgage broker from Mississauga that I use from time to time, and he's saying in the past 2 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks, he's been working till 9:30, 10:30 at night to try to calm people down for various reasons. There's people that want to walk away from their deal. I was also talking to another person from the bank yesterday, just doing a quick follow-up how him and his family was doing. And he was saying that when it comes to this one bank has skip a payment, and he says they were just inundated with calls. You can expect, he says, 3 hours to wait for an answer if you can skip your payment for the month of April. Like I said, this month here, the month of April, is going to be the test, because right now, as of today, a lot of rents are being due. Your mortgage payment is due. Your car payment is due. So it's going to put a lot of stress on the economy this month. It's nice to say that the government is going to send money, but I don't think it has come in yet. And it's going to be particularly more difficult for people that have commercial rentals. All across the states, there's many businesses that already announced that they're not reopening. I think they're saying like 3% of the restaurants were already struggling and they're not reopening. So yes, it is sometimes a little bit worrisome, and this shutdown. The stock market, which also has plunged, what, 35%. There's the oil price, which has just cratered, and it doesn't help that we're all in lockdown. We're not using much oil at the pump, and gas, I should say, at the pump. So the demand is not there. The inventory is going up. Yes, it's nice to say that we're paying cheaper to fill up our tank. But you got to think that if the barrel of oil is not at around $50 to $60 a barrel, it's not good for the stock market, because you got to remember there's a lot of financing also that goes behind all of this. I'm not pulling all these numbers just something that an article that I read, a few days ago. I've been devouring and studying this market for the last, let's say, 10, 12 years, since '08. uh, I was very much intrigued with all these ups and downs in 2000. Why did we have a crash in 2008? Why did we have another crash? And now we're having another one here. It's nice to say, well, we want to, and the governments and whatever, or the media, we hear it all, that it's the coronavirus, and everything else would have been okay if it wouldn't be because of that. But this debt bubble was definitely there, and it was growing and growing since '08. The reason we pulled ourselves out of this downturn is because we printed more money and we created more debt. And like, even not just me, but the mainstream media for the last year or two, they've been saying, real estate is going to see an adjustment. We're going to see a peak. We're going to see a peak. And the only reason it kept on going and going and going, it's because every time they saw it that it wanted to slow down, well, they lowered the interest rates. So that was one of the reasons they kept it going this way here. That's it for the stock market, but the bond market also. The bond market is just crater also. They're not paying any interest, which is not good at all, because on another side, you've got the pensions now that are going to suffer, because the pensioners, or the pension funds, I should say, um, they weren't getting any returns from the bond market, so they were going into playing a little more the stock market. And in the stock market, there's also products like REIT, real estate investment trust funds, which are going to hurt maybe in a month and 2 months, which all going to affect the pension funds also. Plus, if you ever want to follow what's going on also with the stats of all of that, follow Harry Dent and dentresearch.com. I believe that's what it is. Google it, Harry Dent. He does a lot of fantastic analysis on demographics, and basically the baby boomers. Right now, there's 2 billion of us that are 65 plus, and we all want the same thing at the same time. We all want to retire. And we're hopefully that, our RSP or our 401k or whatever we have, that it's going to be there for us. And now they're being affected. So, like I said, 2 billion people worldwide that wants the same thing right now. So anyway, so that's pressures everywhere. So coming back to when we have slowed down as we have right now, how is this going to affect real estate? Well, I started in real estate 30 years ago. 31 years ago, I should say now. And I was aware enough to know about the 80s, how we got the high interest rates. And some of you most likely remember Black Monday, which was in October 1987 when the bond market crashed. And that was one of the biggest crash ever in one day. And that was, just like I said, just a bond market. Now, the problem that we have with debt, it's worldwide. It's not just, localized to Canada or whatever, and it's in housing. The bubble is in housing, and it's in stock market. When you look at a stock market that is 150% of GDP, gross domestic product. What I mean by this, to simplify this, if people don't know what GDP is, it means that Um, the stock market is valued 150 times of what we can produce. So it had to come down at some point. It had to. So anyway, that's that part here. But coming back to 1987, when we had the bond market that crashed, it did not affect the real estate market until it was 14 months after. And I remember quite well because I bought my house in January 1989 in Georgetown, a little bungalow on Weber Drive. And I remember clearly I paid $195, and within 18 months I'd lost 20%. And people forget that these things could happen again. I know a lot of people are telling me, "Oh, Ivan, but this time is different." I've heard that sentence 100 times. When you have a record number of unemployment and people that can't make rent, it's going to put pressure on real estate. If you can prove me wrong saying that real estate is still going to go up and we're still going to see multiple offers and we're going to grow by another 5-10% this year, please share that information with me. I would be glad to. But I think with all of this pressure that we're having with high unemployment, people that have been locked down, and and people are not going to be able to make payments maybe if we're in lockdown, let's say for another month or two. So, and people can't have, like I said, make their mortgage payments. You're going to see some people panicking and wanting to sell, and they're going to reduce their price a little bit. So that's reality. Like I said, I'm not trying to paint a dark picture, but it's reality. Real estate has always done that. It's gone up, it's come down. It's gone up, it's come down. So I think now we were at a peak. So, and the Fed is printing money like drunken sailors, and not just the Feds, but every country around the world. And some of us, we say, "Oh, great, the government is helping us." It's okay temporarily, but where does that money come from? There's no such thing as government program. It's all taxpayers program. At the end of the day, we owe that debt. So, and if they're going to print money coming out of nowhere, because like technically it's not a booming economy that they can use reserves, they're just printing money right off the computer. At some point, we got to repay this debt. And if we don't, what it's going to do is going to cause hyperinflation. And if you want to have an idea of what hyperinflation, just turn your head around and just go and have a look at what happened in Venezuela. They're printing money coming out of nowhere. But we can say, "Oh, okay, this is the North America, this is the US, and we're all fine." Like I said, look at the fundamentals, look at the numbers, and make a judgment on your own from there. And okay, real estate moving forward. How is this going to affect real estate? Like I said, there's always a lag a little bit into the effect that comes, especially in real estate. Because, like I said, for one, people need a roof over their head, and the cycle of life is not going to stop because there is a downturn in the economy. People still have to move up, move down, somebody passes away, whatever, and all of these properties need to be sold. Real estate is a little bit like a river. It needs to move. It needs to move. You can put a dam, like I say, a beaver dam, and cut the water flow for a bit, but at some point it still has to flow. Okay? So moving forward, real estate, I think, like I said, I don't think we're going to see multiple offers anymore. Price will probably remain good for a little while, especially on the lower end. But moving forward, maybe in 6 months and a year from now, it could be sooner because this is pretty drastic, this lockdown. So what I'm trying to say is that this may be your last window of opportunity to sell at these high price. Now, if you're selling in this environment and you're buying something else, it makes no difference that you get 10% more, 10% less, 5%. It makes no difference because you're just making a side move. But for the people that are empty nesters and they have large homes, maybe those are the ones that are going to suffer a little more because the millennials behind us, they don't want big houses like we do. And first of all, also they don't have the money that the baby boomers have accumulated. So all of these things are going to put pressure, especially on big homes. When it comes to smaller place, condo, townhouse, like I said, people need a roof over their head. So um, again, there's not a one size fit all for everyone. Every situation, every household is different. So please feel free to give me a call, send me a text, email. I will talk to you, and I've already helped. In the last 2 weeks, I've had so many calls and I've helped so many people and saying, what do you think we should do in our situation? We have this mortgage, we have this investment. Like I said, I'm no financial planner, but I would play safe right now. The stock market most likely will have another leg down this month, even though they're printing tons of money, because this, you got to remember, this is the first quarter and the numbers are going to come in and they're not going to be all that good. So it's going to have an effect on the stock market. You probably could see, I don't know, maybe another 5,000 points down. At one point, like I said, the Fed is going to print and print and print money, and they're going to try to prop up this real estate, this stock market. But the real economy, it's not going to change the real economy. There is 3.3 million people that have applied in the States for unemployment just right now. And coming April, if we have this lockdown continues, and in May and whatever, you're going to see more. And when you have high unemployment, it bound to have pressure on many, many, many things. So, like I said, I've been studying this market for 10 years. And I've lived the ups and downs. I still have the scars on my back from the 1989, 1990, when my house, our own house, Nancy and I's home, we saw a crater of 20% on our home, and we had put just a little bit down at that time. I had more mortgage than the house was worth. So I know what I know what I'm talking about. And like I said, it's not an article that I've read last week, because right now, like, everybody's on the internet and everybody's writing things, and especially on Facebook, everybody's an expert right now on coronavirus. And I sort of shy away from all of that. But I've had some pretty reliable sources that I've been studying for the last 10 years. And like I said, if you want information, please, 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 please give me a call, and even if it's not to sell your house, just a quick question. What do you see in this? What do you see in that? I will take the time and answer any question you have. So please don't be shy. In the meantime, have a great day. Stay positive. I know we're all in lockdown in our homes and it's not so much fun, but try to make the best out of it, and hope to talk to you soon. And what I'll do, I will probably do another video in 15 days from now, because things are changing by the day, not not by the month. It's changing very, very quickly right now. So in 15 days from now, April 15th, you'll hear from me again, and I'll give you another update. In the meantime, have a great day and enjoy this beautiful sunshine that we have outside. Take care.